No. No.
No, never been.
Never felt the need.
Yeah.
I think I was.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
When would it have been? Back in the 80s. Back in the 80s, I was a member of the union when I was building yachts, I think. Yeah.
I was, yes. It was middle management union.
No comment. I'm not in favour of unions.
No, I've never had the opportunity to be a member of a union because the companies, I've either been self-employed or worked for companies that are so small that there's like 3 staff.
Yeah, same here. Exactly the same there. Unions.
There's not a union for what I'm a cosmetologist. I'm a hairstylist. We don't have a union. So.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm retired now, so. Yep.
I don't know. It's just because I don't really think that there's been an opportunity to join a union or something.
I don't know. Not. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, our carpenters union in the U.S. in the area we're at is more steel studs, drywall stuff. So.
I'm a nurse and I'm with the ANF union. Yep.
No, I've never been in a union. I've never been made go in a union.
Yes, I was, yeah. I've always been a member of a union. I sort of would prefer to protect myself, although really I haven't really used it all these years, so yeah, but I am a member of it.
When I was nursing, there was never ever talk of joining the union. You didn't have to, and yeah, everyone was happy with the conditions we worked under and the pay we got. So yeah, there was no need to worry about a union.
We had to. It was when you were employed back then. If there was a union company, you joined the union.
You had to be in some places, but in the one place, I was born in Canada, and then my first certificate was about to expire, and I didn't quite realize you had to take a 5th year or whatever to get renewed, and so I did. And they didn't have my records when school was about to start, and then I drove there and hand delivered them, and then they told me I'd have to resign, and that because I didn't have it the first reporting day, even though I had it before kids. And so the union got involved and got me my job back. And so lots of my friends that weren't union members, they joined the union, and I did a lot of extra stuff, and they couldn't care less. I was just a number. So I definitely think you should be part of a union, and they do help you and protect your rights.
No.
Yeah, civil servant union. I seem to remember in the late 60s.
No, but that was because there wasn't a union to be a member of. But I was really lucky. I had really forward-thinking employers who were great to their employees. And I'd like to think now, as a business owner, I've taken a lesson from them, and I'm also a great employer to my employees and give them more than the law mandates. I have to give to them.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
Inland Revenue Staff Federation it was called, and that was in the late 60s. But no, I haven't been a member of the union since then.
I didn't really need to at the time. I think if I was older, I think it's probably something I'd look into more, but I was kind of just there for the money, kind of got out, didn't really got that involved. Yeah, it didn't really apply to me, I think, but I can definitely understand doing it if I'm older. Yeah, I think it's an important thing, yeah.
I think it was because, everyone else was.
Compulsory,
it was kind of, yeah, exactly. When I was 17, when I'd left school, that's what you did. You paid a subscription out of your wages so much a month, and that's why I joined the union then. And I actually think it worked very well for me because they did fight for, certain causes and,
Because everybody was in the union then, when I was there, you know what I mean? I would say the union didn't really affect us a lot, you know what I mean? Because we didn't have to fight for much, back in my days anyhow. They do more now than they did then,
I think the wages at the time were similar to men, so we didn't have to fight for rights for men and women, because in the civil service at the time, I think, the wages were similar. But what we had to fight for was like all the jobs, managerial jobs seems to be going to the men at the time. So obviously over the years that's changed, and that's what was negotiated, I think, in those early days. So happy with that, I think.
I may have been. In fact, I think years ago, because I was the manager at Avis Rental Cars, and because I was a company rep, you don't have the. I don't think it was that there wasn't. There probably was a necessity for the ability for unions to help you. I don't know, but I didn't know. I can't answer that question entirely. I just didn't have didn't cross my mind to do so.
We didn't have to be. I was a member at one stage with Chubb Fire, but then I went to accountants and solicitors, and they didn't go with unions, so they got me out of it.
And I was never in a member of a union. Working in it at the university, there wasn't such a structure set up.
Yeah. Just wasn't offered.
Solicitors and accountants had their own rules and pay and whatever, so it was fine.
When I was at St Vincent de Paul, because I was driving, I went into the drivers' union.
We actually discussed that the technical people across the university, we talked about seeing if we could set up a union, but we found out there were 300 individual, definite, distinct job classifications, and we had no idea how to pool that together. So,
just as a few things I wasn't very happy about, and I thought, I think my fellow driver and I just thought we'd cover ourselves and join the union.
Yes, I was. AWU shearers went.
I was a union member early days, but for some reason I came out of the union. I'm just trying to think what it was that decided not to stay as a union member. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. Something happened. I thought, well, I'm not paying into this because of that.
But the other shearers wouldn't shear with you unless you were a member of the union.
You had to be a member of the union, otherwise they wouldn't work with you.
You didn't get any jobs.
When I first started work, I was approached to join NALGO, but I discovered that the guy who was the union organiser for NALGO was just pocketing the subscriptions. So that was the end of it.
Why did I join? I worked for the city. The city is civil servants, and there's unions for laborers and for mechanics and for. We actually developed and started and went through the process to develop our union, and it took about a year and a half to go through the process.
You really need to find a way of progressing things yourself and dealing with things in that way, and it's not about confrontation, it's about proving that things work.
Originally it was to bring us together so that middle management would have a say in things. I wasn't there, I left, so I wasn't there long enough. I used to be on the board, and then I wasn't there long enough to see how well it developed. But I still get my paper. I still get, even as a retiree, I'm part of the retirees union. So yes, believe in unions.
I think that originally they were brilliant because they brought about education, and that's the key to everything. People should be educated, and education is what opens every door.